Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of what companies are really trying to tell us. Today we're diving into a report from the InterGroup Corporation, and let's just say it reads like a bit of a nail-biter, but maybe with a hopeful ending. Stick around to find out if they pulled off a last-minute save or if it's curtains for their stock market dreams. Before we dive in, if you like your corporate news delivered straight, no chaser, make sure you're subscribed, and hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord, sharing insights on these filings. You can find the link in the description below or above, depending on where you're watching. So this filing, it's a Form 8K, which is basically a report for when interesting stuff happens that the market needs to know. And boy, did something interesting happen. The main story here is about whether the InterGroup Corporation is going to be kicked off the Nasdaq stock exchange. Imagine your company's stock is like a ticket to play in the big leagues, and Nasdaq is telling them, hey, your ticket might be expiring. This company, the InterGroup Corporation, they got a notice from Nasdaq. Nasdaq's job is to make sure companies on their exchange meet certain rules to keep things fair and stable for investors. One of those rules is about how much the company is worth based on its stock. Nasdaq has a minimum requirement, and if a company falls below that for too long, they can get delisted. That means their stock wouldn't be traded on Nasdaq anymore, which is a big deal for anyone holding it. Here's the core of the problem. Back in November of last year, 2024, Nasdaq told the InterGroup Corporation that the total market value of their stock had been below a $35 million requirement for 30 days straight. That's a pretty long time to be under the minimum. Nasdaq gave them a deadline, about 6 months, until May 2025 to fix it and get back above that $35 million mark. Well, it seems they didn't make it, because by May of 2025, they were still below the required value. So Nasdaq sent another notice saying, we're going to delist you. Your stock trading will be stopped starting June 5th, 2025, unless you appeal this. Nasdaq even said they'd be filing a formal paper with the SEC to make it official. Now, a lot of companies in this situation might just accept it, but not the InterGroup Corporation. They decided to fight back. They filed an appeal following Nasdaq's own rules for how to do that. This process often involves a hearing where the company can explain its situation and what it's doing to improve. So they had a hearing with the Nasdaq hearings panel, which we can think of as the judges in this stock market court. This hearing happened on July 8th, 2025. It's essentially the company's last chance to convince Nasdaq to let them stay listed. And here's the good news for the InterGroup Corporation, at least for now. On July 17th, the panel told them they'd been granted an extension. They essentially said, okay, we'll give you a bit more time, but you really need to show us you can get above that $35 million market value for 10 straight days. And you have to do it by September 30, 2025. This is a lifeline allowing them to keep trading while they try to turn things around. So what are they doing to try and meet this new deadline? The company states that their management is working hard on plans to make the company more attractive to investors. They want to get the word out about their future plans and what they believe the real worth of the company is. Here's a potentially interesting point. They mentioned that according to accounting rules, they have to report their real estate properties at the price they bought them for, not what they're worth today. Management believes this might be making the company look less valuable than it actually is. Think about it, if you bought a house 20 years ago for $10 asset, your net worth looks much lower than it really is. They also want to make sure investors understand their commitment to creating value for shareholders in the long run. And finally, in any filing like this, they list the exhibits, which are the supporting documents. The only exhibit listed here is the cover page interactive data file. This is essentially a digital file that helps computers understand the information more easily. It's become standard practice. Now, let's put on our Warren Buffett hats for a moment. The InterGroup Corporation is in a tough spot, but they've secured a temporary reprieve. The real question is whether they can genuinely increase their market value to over $35 million by the end of September. Simply talking up the value to over assets, real estate, isn't enough if the market doesn't agree, or if there are other underlying issues. Their strategy seems to hinge on convincing the market that their assets are undervalued. This is a high-stakes gamble. If they manage to boost their market cap, they stay on Nasdaq, which is crucial for liquidity and investor confidence. If not, delisting could mean a significant drop in stock price and reduced access to capital. Into investor confidence, if not, delisting could mean a significant drop in stock price and reduced access to capital. The key risk here is a lack of perceived value or growth. While they believe their real estate isn't reflected properly in their books, the market might be discounting them for other reasons, maybe lack of growth, management issues, or industry headwinds. The opportunity, however, is substantial. If they can truly articulate their underlying value and operations improve, they could not only meet the Nasdaq requirement, but also see a significant recovery in their stock price. We need to watch closely how they communicate their strategy, and if they can generate any positive operational news to back it up. It's a classic case of needing to move the needle on investor perception and real business performance simultaneously. Investor creation and real business performance simultaneously. So what's my take? The InterGroup Corporation has bought itself some time, which is better than no time at all. But the clock is ticking on that September 30 deadline. Their success will depend on their ability to translate their belief in undervalued assets into tangible market recognition. It's a precarious situation, and investors will be watching every announcement and movement very closely. Alright, that's our breakdown of the InterGroup Corporation's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.